A new rule from the U.S. Department of Agriculture will change how Idaho handles hemp, and it may open the door to legislation that would not only recognize the federal law, but plan for transport of the crop and maybe even lead to the production of hemp in Idaho. 6 on your side's Madeline White has the latest in our continuing coverage.
It's still currently illegal to grow hemp in the gem state, but a spokesperson with the Idaho Farm Bureau says if the legislator fast-tracks it in this upcoming legislative session, it is possible that farmers could start growing hemp in Idaho as early as next year. Cannabis has 2 species, hemp and marijuana. The defining difference? Hemp contains THC content of 0.3% or less. Licensed hemp farmer Peter Koch has been growing it in Oregon.
It can definitely be a cash crop if, we have the infrastructure in place.
A cash crop for Idaho? Maybe, but Peter says it would need to happen quickly.
As we speak, the price is declining because there is more being produced right now than what is in demand, even though the demand is growing tremendously.
If embraced for production in Idaho, hemp could provide jobs and be used in plastics, building materials, cosmetics, and more.
But there are a lot of uses for it, and so, from an economic standpoint, it will add to the economy of our state.
In response to the new rule, Governor Little said, "I am reviewing the federal rules closely with my team, and we are building a plan to protect the health and safety of Idaho citizens." Rep. Christy Zato, however, does not share the governor's concerns that the health and safety of Idahoans might even be compromised, because in order to keep their licenses, farmers are held to standards.
So by the time the hemp gets onto the truck, it's probably been tested more than once to make sure that it doesn't have levels of THC.
Peter says the production of hemp is an explosive industry right now, but that he sometimes feels, quote, handicapped by the 0.3% THC rule.
It's very hard for us with the genetics that we have today to accomplish that on a consistent basis.
This year, he says 50% of his hemp is going to waste because warm, wet weather caused mildew to grow on it, ruining it. He says the only way Idaho could profit is if they have infrastructure in place to make otherwise unusable crops usable. But the fate of that lies within the State House when the Hemp Research and Development Act is brought forward again.
But if everything's good in the bill and it passes through the Ag Committee and then gets approved on the floor, then it will make the way so that our farmers can grow hemp.
It remains to be seen how the codifying of this rule will affect the current charges against Big Sky Scientific, a company busted transporting hemp across state lines earlier this year. Prosecutors dropped felony charges against the trucker. The attorney representing the company equates the announcement as a type of vindication. In studio, Madeline White, 6 on your side.